Not a chance that Manchester City is going to defeat Real Madrid. Say what you want about UEFA. Say what you want about Real Madrid. As a Juventus fan, okay? Real Madrid, right? They're among the biggest and best teams in the world. They actually have a winning tradition. I know they take tax money, but it hasn't been completely bought by oil company. They still develop their class and tradition in academy graduates. Real Madrid, they're always going to be better than Manchester City. They're a bigger club. They're not a bought out oil club that Man City is, the dirty Manchester City. Because Man City are forever a tin pot small club. Pep Guardiola, this guy can't even win the Champions League in the knockouts. He avoids Juventus. He avoids Bayern. He avoids Barcelona. He avoids Real Madrid. He avoids PSG. He avoids Bayern. He manages to avoid all of these teams, and he loses to those English teams out there, and he gets completely schooled by Liverpool, even in Europe. Manchester City are nothing but a teeny pot small club. Juventus beat Manchester City 2-1 away. Juventus scored all the goals that game because their goal was scored on an own goal. That was away, mind you. This was away. This was the group stage of 2015. And then Juventus shut out Manchester City away. Over two games, Man City didn't even score a goal against Juventus. That was scored on an own goal. And guess what? Over two legs against Real Madrid back in 2015, Man City lose the whole leg by a score of 1-0 on aggregate. So here is this. Manchester City 0, Real Madrid 1. In the semifinals, Man City didn't score any goals in that game. They didn't score any single goals outside of that Chiellini own goal against both Juventus and Manchester City. Put the pin pot down, you wanker Manchester City bandwagon fans. Why are you all talking about the Champions League? Real Madrid still have guys who are 3-time European Cup winners. Real Madrid still have a team left over from the Ronaldo era. They do. They have a team left over from the Ronaldo era. So don't disrespect those guys because they're going to come in and whip the floor with your little arsenal. Because that's what Manchester City are. They're like the Invincibles. The Invincibles were invincible in England, but in Europe they were complete. They were complete bottlers. They completely faltered. That's what Manchester City are in Europe. And this is going to be the reason why we're going to see Cristiano Ronaldo knock off his former team, Real Madrid, in the quarterfinals. Buffon gets his revenge for the red card against Real Madrid. Gonzalo Higuain, former teammate with Ronaldo at Real Madrid, and now they're teammates at Juventus. Mauricio Sarri managed Eden Hazard when he was the Chelsea manager, and now Eden Hazard is with Real Madrid. And then once Mauricio Sarri accused Eden Hazard of being too individualistic. So where were the comments? What did he say about him? It was about Hazard being individualistic. He criticized Hazard after the and he questioned his ability to be a leader. So that was the source of that. This was the source of the criticism. And Chelsea faltered even without Mauricio Sarri, finishing 10th place a couple other times, mid-table. So it's not the first time this happened. So we have this element. We have this heated exchange going on. Sarri and Eden Hazard. And now former Madridistas who are on Juventus. Sami Khedira. Sami Khedira was with Cristiano Ronaldo over at Real Madrid, and now they're teammates. Again, he won the Champions League with Real Madrid. He played another final with Juventus, and now he's reunited with Ronaldo against his former team. Danilo. Danilo was a teammate of Ronaldo. He was over at Manchester City from 2017 to 2019. Now, the interesting thing about that is that Juventus won the Champions League during the 41st edition of the Champions League. So 1995-96 Champions League, that was the 41st edition of the European Cup. And Danilo had 41 appearances with Manchester City total, or with Real Madrid, before he went to Manchester City and then to Juventus. I keep forgetting that Danilo was over at Manchester City for a while. But nonetheless, he played with Cristiano Ronaldo. He played at Manchester City. Pretty interesting. And he's now on Juventus. And this guy is going to be going up against his former team as well. So this is all the storylines associated with the quarterfinals. And now Karim Benzema, this guy is going to be clinical up front to help Real Madrid advance him. He's coming along so far. The same classic Karim Benzema scored a ton of goals in his career with Real Madrid. At 31 years old, too. He's still got a few years left in terms of top quality in Europe. And with Real Madrid, Karim Benzema, this guy's not going to be as clinical against Juventus. This guy's going to get shut out by Mathis de Ligt and Leonardo Bonucci. He was born at Lyon. This guy was a striker at Lyon before he went to Real Madrid. And guess what? Juventus are beating Lyon in the round of 16 before they take on Real Madrid. And Karim Benzema and Hazard in his rivalry with the manager. And understand what Zinedine Zidane is about to encounter. Zinedine Zidane used to be a player for Juventus. You see, we're not done with the storylines. Zidane played for Juventus. He's a former player. He managed Real Madrid to the Champions League title. He played at Real Madrid as well. So he used to play with Juventus. This is what adds to the dynamic to this matchup. Buffon in his red card. Buffon is on the sideline still. Available if Wojciech Szczesny. And now, what we have here with Juventus is that they're going to be facing off against Real Madrid during the quarterfinals. Now, the last time Juventus won the Champions League occurred during the 95-96 Champions League. The last time they won the Champions League, they faced off against Real Madrid in the quarterfinals. And this is why Juventus are going to be winning the Champions League. For sure. History is going to repeat itself. Juventus and Real Madrid are going to face off in the quarters. I guarantee it. Jay's the 10th letter. Real Madrid's Champions League is going to end after 10 games, 6 group stage games, and then 4 games in the knockouts. There were 64 prior Champions League finals before this year. In the 65th Champions League, we're going to be seeing Mauricio Sarri win the Champions League with Paulo Dybala. It's Sarri. It's Paulo Dybala. Paulo equals 65. Why did Eden Hazard join Real Madrid in the first place? It's Hazard. It's Madrid. That equals 31. It's Real Madrid Club de Football. That equals 94. Now, I want you to notice something. Mauricio Sarri facing off against Hazard. It's Mauricio, it's Real Madrid, they equal 49. And why is Hazard the central player on Zidane's team? Zinedine equals 86 and 50. It's Eden Hazard that equals 86 and 50. Now, once again, 6 group stage games, 4 knockout games. In Spanish gematria, it is the city of Madrid that equals 64. It's Manchester City that equals 64. This is why we see City against Madrid. The winner to try to make it to the final. Last year he was at Madrid. You see that significance in terms of being Champions League contenders? So once again, the team that wins this matchup is going to face off against Juventus Football Club. Juventus Football Club equals 64. This is why we're going to see Juve against Real. Ronaldo's going to head back to the Spanish capital. Ronaldo was there when Juventus took on Atletico last year and tied 2-2 in their game. That was the first Champions League game this year. Juventus 2, Atletico 2 over at the site of last year's final. Now, Juventus played at the site of last year's final. It's because they're the winner of the Champions League. That's why their Champions League started at Atletico Madrid over at the Stadio Wanda Metropolitano. It means they are the winner for the Champions League this year. It absolutely does. Don't kid yourself, man. That's going to happen that way. It really is. And now, Juventus are going to be going to Madrid sometime again later on. The time span from Juventus Atletico Madrid to April the 7th. And now I say April the 7th because because the Champions League schedule for this year, the knockouts, it's going to be the quarterfinals. It's going to be played on the 7th and the 8th and the 14th and the 15th. Now, here's why I think it's going to be played on April the 7th. First of all, it's Ronaldo 7. Number 2, I think it's going to be played at Madrid because Juventus are going to get away goals. They're going to defend. April the 7th of 2020 is a date. Now, April the 7th of simply just the year 20 is a date numerology of 31, and it is Madrid that has gematria of 31. This is why I'm going to go with Real Madrid hosting Juventus for the first leg. The second leg will be at Turin, Torino, just like against Atletico in the Champions League last year. And now April the 14th is the day that Juventus would knock off Real Madrid. That is the date for the second leg. The significance of April the 14th is that is the 104th day of the year. In the Juventus slogan, until the end is fino alla fine. It is fino alla fine that has gematria of 104. This is why Juventus are going to fight until the end. They're going to defeat Real Madrid on the 104th day of the year. That was how many games Zidane won as the manager of Real Madrid before he left the first time. So let me go to Zidane. Zidane. Here it is. Zidane, 104 wins during his first tenure with Real Madrid. This is what the Juventus slogan is all about. Until the end. All the way until the final whistle. As champions, Zidane always be Juventus through and through. Gianluigi Buffon, his birthday is January the 28th. He's wearing number 77 this year. You see him playing around with this kid, Ronaldo. The amount of time from Buffon's birthday to April the 14th, the day that he would beat Real Madrid once again in the Champions League, is a time span of 77 days, and that is his number. February the 17th is 2-17. That's 2 months and 17 days. That's a lot like Michael Jordan's birthday. And believe me, Gianluigi Buffon is the greatest, just like Michael Jordan is. Greatest. The greatest has gematria of 128. He's the greatest goalkeeper ever, and I think he'll be playing against Real Madrid in the Champions League. I think Szczesny's going to get hurt somehow and suffer a fake injury. Madrid had 11 wins before their Champions League title against Juventus, their 12th title. Juventus, they're going to win the second leg at home. They're going to jump up against Real Madrid. Ronaldo's definitely going to score in that game. Ronaldo and Dybala will both score in that game. And now Cristiano, I think he'll score 3 goals and enter the Real Madrid game with 8 games and 5 goals in the Champions League. It's because, once again, it's Real Madrid that has gematria of 85. This is why I think Ronaldo could score 3 goals against Lyon. I think totally for sure Cristiano Ronaldo is going to get going. And now Buffon is going to get revenge against Madrid. Vendetta, revenge in Italian gematria. It's Turkey, it's Buffon that's going to get it against Real Madrid. And there are 28 prior Champions League finals once it was renamed from the European Cup. The 29th final is this year. This connects to Mauricio Sarri. In the date duration from February the 5th, Ronaldo's birthday, to April the 14th, 9 weeks and 6 days and 2 months and 9 days. That's Sarri's gematria. The day after Ronaldo's birthday would be 28 days. It's the 29th final ever since it was renamed from the European Cup. It's knowledge in Freemason, where we talk about Juventus and the Masonic stripes. 9 weeks and 6 days later from Ronaldo's birthday, Juventus would knock off Real Madrid. And I believe that's going to be the case. April the 14th of 2020. Date numerology of 58 and 38. It's Portugal that equals 38. In gematria, it is Real Madrid Club de Football that equals 78. That equals 58, rather. Because there, once I go down, see that Real Madrid CF equals 58? So they would be playing on that day, that football club. So that's what's going to happen. Juventus and Ronaldo are going to beat Real Madrid. Ronaldo's going to show why he's bigger than Real Madrid. Manchester City are a small club. 0 goals scored against Juventus and Manchester City. The only goal was an own goal. Oil Club. No, don't disrespect those champions like that. Fuck Real. Juventus can beat those booing fans. Oh, I made a fan. Well, that's all scripted. Well, the answer is, I know it's rigged. I know Juve are not going to win the Champions League every single year like Barcelona are going to win next year, for instance. I think Juventus will get knocked out of the round of 16 next year. I think Juventus going to win the Champions League this year. For Sarri and company are going to get the job done 24 years later. And more to come on that topic in the future.